Hello. It is Wednesday, a little bit after 10 o'clock. I would have been here a few minutes earlier, but I just had a delivery. Yay! A Stampin' Up! Delivery arrived. So that just turned up on my doorstep, and I had a quick chat to the mailman because he's my only social interaction at the moment. So, hi there, Bettina. How you doing? Are you working from home? Is that what you're doing? Or just home? So I'm going to just take a couple of minutes to quickly chat and say hi to people as they come in, but I'm not going to do that for very long because I'm going to get making. But what I did want to show you today, or wanted to tell you about today, is the fact that I've just launched my latest online class. I have done online classes in the past, and then I didn't do them for a while, and because I do actually love my customers face to face. So hi there, Linda, how you doing? So yeah, because I love meeting with my customers face to face, switching over to online for me isn't the easiest thing in the world. I mean, I can do it, but it's not super easy because I love my customers. I love seeing them up close and personal, and actually interacting with them in real life. So online is a little bit of a challenge for me. So please say hi when you pop on if you have a moment. I will only be looking. Hi Sharon, how are you doing? I'm only going to be looking at my phone until I start creating, and once I start creating, then this is one of the beauties of creating cards or making lovely things, is that when I make something, when I'm creating, I just get so involved in what I'm doing. It takes up all of my emotional energy and my thoughts, and so I don't think about all the other stuff in my life, and that's why it's such an escape at the moment. I'm loving the fact that I can come in here to my craft room, sit down with my staff and start creating something, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with what else is going out there in the world. So it's mine, just my little space, and I'm sure some of you guys feel like that as well. I hope you do. It's a great way to escape. So I've always known that, though. When I first started doing Stampin' Up, nearly 14 years ago, when I first started, I remember my very first workshop, and I was almost sick. I felt really, really ill. I was so nervous. One of the reasons, oh, look, I've got a grey hair poking straight up. I can see it. I'm sure you guys can too. It's doing its own thing up there. Can't find it. I'll have to get rid of that later. Anyone else doing the getting a bit desperate on the hair front? I actually I'm really lucky. I don't have very many greys, but the few I have kind of stand out. So there we go. All right. So yeah, when I first started, I was really, really nervous, and I remember that very first night sitting down, and the girl who had originally taught me to scrapbook was actually at that class, and I was like so nervous because I thought, oh, she's gonna look at what I'm doing and know that it's substandard to her amazing work. And you know what? As soon as I started making the card, I forgot all that. And that has I've always been reminded of that. The fact that when you're creating, you're using a totally different part of your brain, and you don't have to worry about other stuff. So let's use that to our advantage right now. Keep crafting, keep creating. As long as we are stamping and creating, we don't have too many other things to worry about. So that is the plan. So I just want to talk really, really briefly about my online class that I just launched. Hopefully you've seen it. If you haven't, I'll put the link in the comments in a little bit for you so that you can click on that and go see. But it's basically a 3-card class, and I have made the cards and video tutorials on how to make them. They are not hard, they are simple, but they do use the new Ornate Garden suite, okay, which is just the most beautiful group of products that's been brought out. I've been creating up a storm with them. I'm going to make another card with them for you today and show you a few of the bits and pieces. But the good thing about that you need to know about this is you don't actually have to have these pieces. You don't have to have the dies or the stamps or any of that stuff to be part of the class, because I've actually gone ahead and done all the die cutting for you, all of the punching, everything is done. The bits of ribbon, everything are in there. If you don't have this stamp set, that's okay. You can still complete the cards with whatever stamps you have. I've kept them very simple for that reason, so that you can use any stamps. We're not die cutting around stamps. You're just adding sentiments and so forth. So even with a minimal number of stamps, whatever you have will work with the pieces that I've put together. Hi Laura, how are you? Nice to see you here. So yes, that's the first thing. You don't have to have these pieces. There are 2 ways to participate in the class. You can be anywhere in the whole wide world and be part of the class, and I will send you the link to the tutorial. It's a private link, so it's not available to the public on YouTube. It's only available to people who have the link. So I will send you the link so you can watch the tutorial, and I'm charging $20 Australian for that. If you're overseas, the Australian dollar is so terrible right now that that's going to be a really good bargain for you, because you won't be paying very much at all. In the US it's about half, so it's a really cheap class. Good morning, Danielle, how are you doing? It's a bit gloomy today, but that's okay. We've got our craft inside, so it's all good. And the second way to participate in the class is if you're in Australia, all you have to do, you can still just purchase the tutorial if you want to, and I've got a PayPal button set up for that on my blog. However, if you would like to get the supplies, so I send you all the bits and pieces, like I said before, the die cuts, all the pieces pre-cut, ribbon, everything. If you want to participate and receive those, all you have to do is place an order, okay, and use the code. So there's a special host code for the class, okay. Yeah, so they're the 2 options. You can, and you don't. Is there a set amount? In the past, I've said a minimum of $50, but I'm not saying that at the moment because I know that not everyone is in a great position. So any order that uses the code will be able to access the class and the class link that I'll send you, and all the pieces that I'll post you in the mail. Okay, so that is how you participate. You can either just have the tutorial and pay for that, or if you're in Australia and you would like to actually place an order using that code, you'll also be able to participate, and you don't need the Ornate Garden products. But the Ornate Garden products are beautiful. So I'm going to show you some of them today. I'm going to put the phone up in the holder and I'll show you a couple of things that I've been doing, and we'll play around a little bit right now. So yeah, it's the Ornate Garden suite is what they call a mega suite. Okay, a mega suite means there's 2 stamp sets and 2 die sets in the suite. They are all beautiful. They all go together. And I was just thinking I've got the flyer, but I didn't bring it over here with me to do this video, so I might go grab it in a second for you. But I'm going to pop the phone in the holder for a second, so just bear with me, and I'll give you a card to look at, something pretty to look at. Just give me a second. Okay, switching the camera around now. Okay. Okay, can everyone see my workspace there okay? I think that looks good. Now, just remember, when I'm actually creating, I won't be able to see your comments, but I will keep checking back, okay? I'm going to try and pop my head up and have a look as often as I can. So I've got lots actually of cards that I've been doing with this. This one, when I did it, I thought afterwards I could have actually made that into more of a cross and made it into an Easter card. This is part of the paper, so let's have a look at the paper. I've got mine all chopped up, all right? So this is obviously not how it comes. You get 12 by 12 sheets, and there's 2 of each. And some of the pieces have the foil designs on one side. So this is absolutely beautiful. It does have, here's a card making with this one. So I used this paper to make this card. And all I did was I added one of the Stitch So Sweetly. Let me pick my tongue up. Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I've just used the thanks from the Ornate Thanks. So this is part of the suite, this set here, that's got the thank you, so grateful and thanks, and then all the little sayings. I love this. This is fantastic. And you can create all kinds of greetings because you've got lots of little words that go with the big words. So this one says thanks for all you do. But I could have said thanks You're amazing. Thanks for all your help from all of us ever so much. You know, like you can complete the sentences. So it's really, really useful. And I love the font they've used. I think it's really cool. So this one is just a black stitched so sweetly die with the white embossed thanks on it. And then under that I put the for all you do. I've added some of the little gilded dots, gilded gems that are part of this suite as well. And I also added, because I can't help myself, some gold glimmer and some leaves. So that was actually a pretty quick and easy card, but it looks really striking. So that's using this beautiful paper. The papers are double-sided, so of course you've got, you know, usually a big design on one side and a small design on the other, or foil on one side and plain on the other. So this one here, this is one of the pieces I've used in the class, actually. And on the back you've got old olive with these gold motifs, which is actually really beautiful as well. So let me go through some of my chopped up bits. I've actually done quite surprisingly, I didn't know that I would use this one that much, but I have actually used it more than I expected. And it looks really, really nice. There's mint macaron there in the background. So with a bit of mint macaron and so saffron, which is the lighter yellow, you can do a lot with that. You notice that this is a different gold foil design on the back, like it's little flowers. The other one was bigger flowers. So it's a bit different. I saw that one. This one is probably the brightest piece, and you've got your terracotta tile, which is the orangey colour, and so saffron. Now, here's something, a little sneak peek for you guys. There is a colour in this which is called Bumblebee, and if you are thinking, heck, what the heck is Bumblebee? Bumblebee isn't a colour we've ever had, so I'm thinking that must be one of our new in colours. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but anyway, it must be. So it's, if you're paying attention, you'll see on the back of the pack it says Bumblebee as a colour, and I'm going to guess it's that dark yellow there. So that's going to be really interesting to see what that's going to look like. Then on the back we have a smaller old olive design. More of the daisies, more of the old olive. This one I've used quite a bit. I've got a little rip on that one, but this one is beautiful. So mint macaron with a little gold foil design, and on the back we've got some terracotta tile and green flowers. This one is also a favourite. I did a YouTube video using this and some black. It looks really nice with black and gold. Lovely. And the back of that one is some yellow background with white daisies. So hopefully you're getting a good picture of what these papers look like. They are stunning. And like I said, been using them lots. So you can see I used that really bright one. If a colour is ever too bright for you, you can do what I've done on this card, which is I've layered over, I hope you can see here, a piece of white vellum. Can you see that okay? So the white vellum actually tones it down and makes it not so bright. So if ever you're faced with a colour that you think, oh, that's too bright for me, try layering over some vellum, and it will actually tone the colour down and make it more subtle. So that's a good little tip if ever you come across a paper that is too bright for your liking. Okay, so I'm going to just show you, this is a card that I made on a live Zoom call last week with my team, and this is going to resurface again. I'm actually thinking of maybe doing a watercolouring technique class, and if I'm going to do that, that card may show up again. So let's see. Then this is using that really bright paper. Didn't tone it down this time, I just used it as was. And see the beautiful ribbon? These are part of the suite as well. There's a ribbon combo pack, and you get 2 ribbons in the pack. And they are terracotta tile, this one here that I've used on this card, and old olive. And they're really nice to tie, really nice to work with. This card I used the gold shimmer ribbon from remember at Christmas time we had the Christmas rose bundle? This is actually part of that bundle, and it's still available. If you're looking for it, you can still get it. So it hasn't sold out yet, and they've kept it up on the website. This one I did in another video, so if anyone saw me do that, that was just with sponging over some of those gold foil flowers. What else have we got? I've actually done lots with this. This one you may have seen, I did it in another video as well. I think it was another live video actually. So there's a couple of things to look at just for a second. I'm just going to move away and grab that flyer and show you. Hey there, Wendy. How are you doing? Hi, Kay. Hello, Michelle and Anne. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you all here. So you can see the kind of colours and the kind of designs that you can get from this suite. Absolutely beautiful. Everything goes together, of course, as always. And I just think they're absolutely beautiful. So, shall we have a little play? Here's the flyer I mentioned. Just want to tell you how it works. If anyone wants to buy the whole suite, everything, so that's 2 stamps, 2 dies, all the paper. So here are the dies. See, this is one set of dies, which are the ornate border dies. There was one set of dies that was low in inventory. I need to double check that. But right now they're still available as far as I know. Here are the papers that we just looked at as well. Now this thank you here is called Ornate Thanks, and it's part of this bundle. So if you're buying them as a bundle, you get the stamps for all those words and these lovely border dies. And if you're wondering what the border dies look like, here they are. They're beautiful. So you've got a couple of edges here, and then these ones here, like this one will actually cut out a layer in the middle of your card, but if you want to cut the edge, this one then cuts it so it could be the edge of your card. And I did do a card for everybody with that one a week or 2 ago. But this is what the edge would look like if you were to use this one. Can you see that there, the edge? I'm going to use that on a card a little bit later, so stay tuned. I've got a few ideas for things I want to do with this, so definitely look out for those. And then this one here. So there really is loads and loads of things you can do with them. Very, very versatile. And then the second stamp set is the one with the flowers. So this one here. So you've seen me use those a few times as well. So for example, I've used a portion of that stamp on this one here. I just used it over the edge of this white one. Oh, and this is something interesting you might know, is that this is a stitched rectangle die. So if you have the stitched rectangle dies, they fit inside, some of these fit inside the lacy borders. Okay, so they are lovely. The lacy, they're called, not borders, layers. So the actual name of those is Ornate Layers, and there they are there. You can see all the different ones here. There's the real thing. Aren't they beautiful? So there's a couple of, like that's a straight rectangle stitched edge that fits around or inside some of these other pieces. This one just does a dotted edge, and I've used that one in the class as well. And then you've got some other beautiful lacy edges. So I'm actually going to use this one. It's in the class as well, but I'm going to use it in a moment. I've already gone ahead and cut it out in advance so that I didn't have to do that now. The other things that are in this suite are the 3D embossing folder. Here's a piece that uses that. Look. Okay, can you see it? I'll bring it up close. I've actually also used a bit of white ink in my folder to actually make it that the flowers have got a little bit of white edging to them. So that came up really nice. And as you can, and it helps to highlight the design as well, which is a nice tip. And then also we've got our combo pack that I showed you before, and the gilded gems, which I absolutely love. These are beautiful. This is these guys. See them there? Try and get close so you can see it. Like it's faceted. It's very, very pretty. And they're adhesive. You don't have to try and glue dot them on. They already have adhesive on the back. So there we go. That's them. So you can pick and choose any of these pieces, or like I said, you can get the whole lot. So the whole lot, there's one code if you want to order everything, and that's $238 for everything, okay, which I know is substantial, but if you are like me and need to have everything, then it actually will save you a little bit because you're getting your 10% bundles in there as well. If you just wanted like the bundles, the one with the thank you set, the Ornate Thanks, is photopolymer. So that is the cheaper set. The other one with the flowers is rubber, red rubber. So that one is a slightly more expensive set. So this set is $31 and this one is $37. But when you put them together with their bundles, this bundle is $81 and this bundle is $90.75. So there you go. All right, so it gives you some options, lots and lots of different things you can try doing with this. So I'm actually going to use this piece that I've already pre-done, and I've already pre-cut this layer die. I cut it out of gold foil paper, so I just think that's really pretty. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to see your comments for a moment. Hi Samantha, how are you? We haven't met, but hello. Oh, hello Emma and Sue, hello. How are you girls? So I'm not going to be able to see your comments for a moment while I'm down here and actually working on this little project, but I will keep checking back. Alright, so I just wanted to see, I'm not sure how this will look, but I just wondered whether or not I need a bit of colour in the background there. Maybe. You can't really see much of it. It doesn't probably make enough difference to worry about it. So those pieces are going to end up on there. But I've got one of my stitch rectangles here, and as you can see, this perfectly fits inside here because Stampin' Up, colour coordination, and of course die coordination as well. So I'm going to actually work on this piece here, and I'm going to go in and use my my big flower today, and I'm deciding what to do. I was going to go with Stays On ink, and I was going to do it in black. I'm wondering whether brown would be better. I love the brown ink. The last time I looked, it was on back order, so if anyone loves this too, you just might have a little bit of a wait on that one. The other option is I can use Memento, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm kind of making it up as I go along. So I'm actually going to ink this up. And I actually want to just use like a portion of this. So I'm going to just do the bottom section, as you can see here. It's probably a smart idea to actually put your sentiment on first so you know how much room you need for that, but I didn't do that. I'm deciding where this should go. Oh. There we go, just like that. And I'm thinking, what colour blends will we use? I'm going to go with blends today, which is why I use Memento. Memento ink is a water-based ink, and that goes great with your alcohol markers, okay? If you want to use watercolour, that's when you need to use Stays On ink. So I've gone with black because I thought that was a little bit more dramatic, and I am going to bring in a couple of blends. So here are some of the colours I've been working with when I use these colour tones. I've got, not those ones, those are Granny Apple Green, they're too green. But Old Olive, even Mango Melody, even though it's a darker orangey yellow, it still works okay. And I'm using Calypso Coral. Terracotta Tile is not a colour that we have in blends, and I think that is, as one of my team members suggested the other day, I think it's because we've already got a couple of very similar colours. So there's Cajun Craze, Calypso Coral, so these colours really already have that kind of look about them. I'm deciding how much when you're using blends, you don't want to do too much of an area at a time, mainly because it works best when the colour's still wet. And so I'm just adding a bit of, I did the dark in the middle, and now I'm adding the light, and I'm blending, kind of circling over the edges of those dark colours. Now I find with blends or any markers, you need to be a little bit more precise. If I was using watercolors, I'm very imprecise. I actually try and leave quite a bit white when I'm doing And I'm just looking to see, I might actually daffodil as well. So this is light Mango Melody and dark Mango Melody. I'm just going to grab my daffodil. I've also got So Saffron. That might actually be, because there is So Saffron in the colours. So this one is, see, that's a light Daffodil Delight. I've got my box of colours here, see. I do have my blends also in storage, like in a proper storage shelf, but because I have a lot of extra colours, and that's because as things have, well, that one might not be, oh, it's not too bad. What other colour is that? Some Melody. This particular Daffodil Delight's not, the end of it isn't great. This one's better than the first one I used. So this is something, I guess, no, definitely not that one. Because I use these for classes, it means that they get sometimes a little bit damaged, but that's okay. Oh, my stomach just made a big rumbling noise. That's because I haven't had breakfast yet. So my apologies if you heard that. I'm just going to add a little bit of... So what does everybody else do on days like today? It's sort of, it's not really walking weather. Like, I've been trying to go for a few walks lately while all of this has been happening, and my son and I went for a walk yesterday, which was actually hilarious. He has a really unusual view on the world. But yeah, today's not walking weather at all, so I guess we'll just have to stay inside and craft. I try and avoid the housework where I possibly can. It's dark Mango Melody. I'm going to go with a dark one in the centre of the... See, it's almost a little bit orangey. I'll do those ones there as well. Don't they look lovely? Look at that. It's beautiful. And it doesn't take a lot of work to do, but it's actually really, really, well, to me, it's very therapeutic. I think colouring is one of my favourite things to do. It's probably not that entertaining for everybody else to watch. I don't know. I actually like watching other people colour. I think it's kind of fun. And everyone does a little bit differently. So go over these edges, and I kind of circle over them so that they start to blend in the dark colour with the light colour. So the way I use blends, I mean, different people have different techniques, but the way I use them is I put my dark colour into the shadows and the areas that I want to have as darker, and then I really use my light ones as the blending tool. I use the light one to push the colour out and blend it all together. Light ones do all the work. So it's good that they've actually allowed us to purchase like the colours singly. You don't have to purchase a dark and a light together. You can actually purchase just the light ones, because I go through a lot more of the light ones than I do the dark ones, because the light ones are doing my blending work. So I don't use nearly as much of the darks. And we're going to add some old olive. If you have the blends, grab them out and get colouring. Colouring is such a therapeutic thing to do, and that will certainly stop you thinking about millions of other things. because like I keep saying, we want this to be our escape. This is our happy place. I just realised I missed a leaf. Sorry, a petal here. There we go. Now I could just leave it like that, which would make perfect sense, but I'm actually going to do one last thing that I love to do, either with Pool Party or Mint Macaron. Really good colours for this. I use my thin end and I zip around the edges of my design. And if you're wondering why I do this, it's mostly, it helps the whole thing to pop. You don't have to be too precise. I'm just using, like I said, the thin edge and going around that black line, and it just helps it stand out against the background. And it kind of gives the idea that there could be sky or something behind here. Can you see the difference? Can you? Probably can't. I don't know. Can you see it? I just love the way this looks. To me, it looks finished, and that's why I'm going to do the same thing down the bottom. How are you doing, Bronwyn? Hello, Helen. How are you? That's okay, Wendy. You can always watch a replay. It's never a problem. That's why I post them, because I figure lots of people can't be here live. They're working or doing other things. My husband is actually sleeping. He's working, just done a couple of nights, or just on one night shift. He's got another one tonight. So when he's on night shift, he sleeps during the day. And I used to worry about making too much noise, but he puts on some like white noise in his bedroom, and he can't hear me, even though he's only next door. So just making these edges stand out. If you don't have any of the blends, they're definitely a worthwhile investment. They're beautiful, beautiful alcohol markers, and they don't take a lot of, the learning curve is not steep. Actually, I just realised that there's a little bit of colour there. There we go. Look at that. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm actually going to use dimensionals on the back. Oh, now alcohol markers, don't be alarmed when they go through the paper. They will always go through. The alcohol actually bleeds through the paper, and that's completely normal. Just getting out a pack of dimensionals because I'm almost out. We've got three types. For anyone who doesn't know, we have black dimensionals, we have mini dimensionals, and we have regular dimensionals. Okay, so if you didn't realize we had black ones, you can buy those in the online store. They were in the last holiday catalogue, but they're still available. So really, really handy when you're working with dark colors. I always make sure that I have dimensionals on hand. I would hate to run out of these things. Oh, apparently I upset someone recently when I took the dimensionals out of the middle. Sorry if you're watching, whoever you are. Apparently I'm supposed to take them from the corner. If you're OCD and taking them from the middle upsets you, my apologies. I did not mean to do that. Oh, I just realised I haven't stamped my greeting on. Well, it's too late now. I've taken the back of my dimensionals. I'm just going to have to do it after. So what greeting shall I have here? This is coming together really nicely. Look how pretty that looks. So the nice thing is you don't have to use this as one big thing. You can just use it in a couple of little pieces over the edges of things like this, and I think that makes it really versatile. Don't ever think you have to use a stamp in the way that you receive it. You know, you can do different things that allow you to to basically change it up. You can do anything. All right, so memento. I am going to put my greeting in black because it will match the outline of my, I could use any of the colors, but I'm thinking black for this one. And will I go with thanks? I could. It will fit. You know what? I think I will. And then I'm going to have a little greeting over the top that completes the sentence. So let's see if we can do this. I'm going to have to bring my head in, I'm sorry, because I need to get really close. I want to make sure I'm using my grid paper. If this doesn't work, like if I stuff this up, we can fix it. Oh no, that's actually not bad. So I have some white paper. Let me just find a little bit of white here. And I am going to stamp, what have I got here? I've got here, For All You Do, which is really rather nice. And I'm actually thinking will I stamp that in black, or will I go, no, I'm going to go a different colour for this one. So I'm going to go Old Olive. I'm just going to now I was actually going to punch that out, but that might be too big for this punch, and that's okay. I can always pop it on a like a strip, cut a strip. So just put the lid back on the memento. So my go-to punch when I'm doing this sort of thing is this one, the Timeless label, but I don't think it fits in here. Oh, you know what? It does. Huh. Well, there you go. It's actually fine. Proved myself wrong. And because my blends are handy, I'm actually just going to use one of them to zip around. You can use a sponge, but you can also use a blend just to go around the edges. Make them stand out a little bit. There we go. Now this one will need mini dimensionals. So let's add, oh look, I took those out of the middle too. Tell you what, I'm going to upset someone. There we go, just like that. Maybe move it down slightly. I was trying to just sort of go over the edges of my word, but maybe that was too much. Take that off. So I might just go just below. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I'm actually going to, you can use snail or Tombow, whatever you like. Actually, Tombow or multi-purpose adhesive, which I've always got close by, that would probably be better because we are working on an uneven surface, which snail is not as fond of. So yeah, Tombow would probably be better, to be honest. All right, it's coming together really nicely. I think we need a little bit of ribbon. We don't need it, but will I go olive? Or will I go? I'm going to go olive, I think. I've actually used a lot more of the terracotta tile than I have the olive in most of my cards, so it's good to use the olive sometimes. I'm just going to put that together. I'm just making the okay, got my ribbon scissors close by. I always start with my tails of my ribbon fairly long because you can always cut them shorter, but you can't cut them longer. So I start with them a little bit on the long side and then decide how long I want them to be. On a glue dot, give it a push, take it off with the glue dot attached, and what do you think, guys? Is it too long? Are the tails too long? just a little bit, I think. Take that one off slightly. Okay. All right, so then I have a folded card base here. And this time I'm definitely going to use Tombow. So far, I haven't managed to make a bad card with this suite. Seriously. It is really lovely and really versatile and really easy to use. So it's a new favourite of mine, only because I have found that everything goes together so beautifully that you really can just kind of pick and choose and mix and match, and it will come together beautifully. I just need to cut that top down a little bit, but there you go. There's my card. What do you think? Do we like it? Thanks guys. Thank you. Yeah, it's just, and I love the blends on those flowers. They look really good. So there you go. There's one watercolored and one with blends. Similar, but totally different effect. I like both, but they are different. Just depends on what mood I'm in. I'm going to cut that a little bit more. So if you're interested in this suite, then my suggestion is when you're ordering, use the code that I've set up for the class, because you will automatically get the class included with your order, and your order can be any size. So even if you're just ordering the paper, or even if you're just ordering one component of the class, my suggestion would be that you can get it anywhere in Australia. And I have noticed the post is moving a little bit slowly at the moment. It's taken me a while to get most of my deliveries. So hopefully it won't be too long, but I will try and get them in the mail within 24 hours of you ordering. And don't forget too, we've got Easter coming up. So Friday's a holiday and Monday's a holiday. So the earlier you get your order in, I did actually say I was going to close this off on Monday, close off the class. I may, because it's Easter, I'd forgotten there was Easter Monday, I may extend it by a day, but we'll see, depending on what the demand is like. Okay, so anyway, there you are. So there's just one example of another card that you can make with this beautiful set. So I hope you love it. I hope that you guys get some time to be creative and craft and do all the things that you want to do at the moment, because I know we can't go out and do all the things out there that we want to do. So let's do all the things in here, okay? I'll just quickly read back through the comments and see if anyone has any questions. Hi Cheryl, how are you going? Christine, hello. Tina, hi. No questions from anybody. So everyone understands how the class works. If you would normally come to classes, and this is kind of the next best thing normally. I would normally have a class today. So I usually have classes every Wednesday. So the first and second Wednesday of the month are usually my Stamper Stacks or product classes and technique classes. The third Wednesday of the month I'm usually up in the Hunter Valley, seeing the girls up there, which I'm missing everybody. The host code is, Wendy, you don't need to use the host code because you've got your own account now. So if you want a copy of this, we can talk about that. Okay, so but the host code is both in the email that I sent out to my customers this week, but also on my blog. And I will put it in the comments below as well for anyone who wants to find it here. So yeah, very exciting. So I'm hoping that I'll be back with more for you soon. I am doing Zoom calls and stamping online with specific groups like my team groups, and also I have a couple of customer groups looking at doing a class by Zoom as well. And I thought maybe we might even do a Zoom call through here so you can see me and see what I'm doing, and I can see you guys and we can all chat, which is lovely. So yeah, I hope that that will be awesome for everyone. Okay, guys, I hope you have a lovely Wednesday doing whatever you do. I've got to get back and I finished cutting up all the supplies for this class, but I'm most of the way there. So as soon as I have any orders in or anybody wanting to be part of that, then I will certainly get those in the mail to you. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.